Hi everyone, good evening one and all. Welcome to today's session, the 20th workshop in this HTM Qubits. HTM Qubits is a series of workshops by Hack the Mountains. Qubits means quantum bits. Just like small quantums of packets of information makes the whole information, in the same way, these series of workshops would make you a tech geek at the end. These workshops started from 20th September and will last till 9th October. These workshops are being conducted by industry professionals. What would you get by attending these workshops? Learning and experience sharing by industry professionals, rewards for participants during the workshops, and e-certificates to all the participants. To get the e-certificate, please fill the form that we provide you in the chat. I would like to thank all the participants for being here, and later you can ask your queries, if any, in the chat box. So, are you eagerly waiting to learn some stuff? Yeah, ever thought how big amounts of data is managed on servers and databases? Here comes the concept cloud computing. Cloud computing is the on demand availability of computer system resources, especially data storage and computing power, without direct active management by the user. The term is generally used to describe data centers available to many users over the internet. So, in this workshop, we are going to learn cloud computing. For this, we have our speaker Gaurav Rai. He is currently SDE at Rivi. He has keen interest in Android and iOS development. He has been a mentor at various organizations and he has been working as Android developer at various tech companies. Welcome, sir. Very glad to have you here. So let's
Thank you
start
so
our
much, Priyanka.
session. Let's start our session cloud computing. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm sorry for the interruption. Hey guys, welcome to the live. Today we're gonna talk about cloud computing. Okay, and this term is very broad. Okay, it covers so many topics, so many technologies, and almost everything that we are working today is mostly facilitated by cloud computing. But it's mystifying that some many of you or even me at first were confused, like exactly what is cloud computing, how one can become like expert in it, and how to get started. But it's actually very simple. The concept is really simple. And to get started, I will just share my screen. Is my screen visible? Okay, yeah. So cloud computing, okay. And to put it in a very basic and layman terms, I will just like go through the sentence. Using computational services without the headache of actually buying and maintaining it. Okay. So earlier, before cloud computing actually started, what people used to do is they used to do this on-premise services. Okay. So for example, if I'm a pharmaceutical company and I want to maintain all my all my management of paychecks or management of stocks and everything in one single software and maintain it throughout my company and a very big company, like, let's say an MNC. How would I do that, right? Earlier, like 20 to 30 years ago, this could have been not like 10 to 15 years ago. This could have been a disaster, not disaster, but a very big uh, task because I have to set up my own servers. First of all, I have to buy all the computers, I have to buy all the networkings, and I have to maintain my own private network. I have to connect those networks throughout the continents and countries. And then I have to make my own software on top of it. And then I have to recognize what are the issues for my company and how can I solve it to the software. And then have to maintain databases and whatnot. There are so many things when when you are working with developing your own uh, tech from ground up, right? It's just like you developing your own PC. If you ever have a dream of building your own PC, you have to check which kind of RAM you want, which kind of hard disk you want, and which kind of motherboard you want, SMP you want, and connecting all of them, what kind of SSD you want, what OS you want, software you want, and on top of that, there is software customization as well, right? So many things end to end, and it just becomes very hard to maintain that. That is the reason why I will come back to this statement that what companies did is they outsourced this job. That is, they started outsourcing the whole maintenance and buying the whole infrastructure of computers and maintaining the softwares and operating system as well to them. And now they will only develop the software and use it. Okay, simple as it is. So earlier we have on-premise setup where you own everything, you have to maintain it, and you save a lot of you can save a lot on a longer run, right? If you buy anything, you save a lot on the longer run. Okay, but then came infrastructure as a service. Okay, before jumping into as a service part, I will tell you that cloud computing is divided into three major kind of services. Okay, one of them is infrastructure as a service, another one is platform as a service, and third one is software as a service. Okay, I will go one by one and I will explain you and give examples of it. Okay, while explaining each of the service. First one, infrastructure as a service. Okay, what you do here is that if you are the person who is providing this service, this infrastructure, what you have to do is you have to buy computers, you have to maintain the best softwares that are possible, best operating system that are possible. You have to be updated with everything. You have to maintain all the security and fixes, and you will provide this servers via over the internet to your clients. Okay. Again, if I'm a pharmaceutical company and there is another company who does this, I will go. There's other company who sells or rents such computers via the network. What I will do is rather than buying my own computers and maintaining it, I'll go to those services, tell them that just rent me this PCs for this much amount of time, and every month I will pay you. And this kind of services, they are like future proof, which means that most of the time uh, the clients are going to pay, right? So you buy this, you rent the server, you rent the PCs and make them the servers, and then you use it for your own use, right? Here you have more customization and flexibility. You are just using their PC, but software and everything is yours, right? And you are going to pay as you go. Like, you are going to pay monthly basis, right? And what are the example of infrastructure as a service? The one of the biggest example is Amazon web services. Now Amazon services have like a mix of infrastructure and platform services. I will tell you why. But the majority of one of the service people use is because it provides infrastructure as a service as well. Okay, so they provide like E2 instances. E2 instances are like EC2 instances. I mean, uh, these are the service wherein they will give you an option of what kind of RAM you want, what kind of OS you want. You have to select those, and you have to just like go ahead and then create an instance. Instance is like reserving that space for yourself, and then you can install anything inside that. Okay. And if I have to give you example of how this is connected to us as a developer, let me give an example where my friends who are like colleagues and friends who are into ML and AI, when they train a model, okay, they most of the time don't have enough space in there or enough computational power in their PCs. So what they do is they go to Amazon Web Services, they lease out one of the instances, run their model, and once they get the results, they will terminate the model, and that's is very cheaper for them, right? They don't have to buy a whole infrastructure out there. This is very small example, but if you imagine this as a scale, right? Like for example, Twitter, right? Maybe they don't like have their own servers. They can lease out such servers at scale. They can lease out as many as servers they want. Okay, there is a term called on-demand supply. Okay, so what this services do is AWS services do is they will provide you this computers on demand. So if you, for example, I develop this website, let's say I have me and my friends have co-founded a service called copyers.club. Okay, and now every day we get like 10 people visiting our websites, but for some reason from tomorrow onwards there are like 10,000 people or lakhs of people hitting our website, right? We might not have the capability. to handle all the requests at the same time because we were not prepared for it, right? But we have hosted our service, we have hosted a website and our whole backend in a cloud computing providers like AWS and Heroku or other services, wherein if there is a surge in such request and in demand, they will deploy more computers on demand. Okay, so if they see that this website is getting more traction, they will add more computers to handle those requests. Okay, automatically, I don't have to do anything at all. Okay, so this is the scale. This is the advantage of using cloud computing and infrastructure as a service. Okay, next up, we have platform as a service. Okay. Now, this is like a middle ground. You have to compromise a bit. Okay. So, for example, if I have to give an example of platform as a service, there is a website called Heroku. There's another website coming from Europe. It's called Vercel. Okay. What they do is they only run Node.js. I guess they run more services now, but they don't run all the services. Okay, they run the most popular ones. Okay, for example, if you're developing a Node.js application, you can run it on Heroku easily. Okay, if you're running a Flask, Python-based Flask application, you can run it on Heroku easily or Vercel easily, right? But you don't get the customization. Customization, I mean that if you have to run your servers on Heroku in India, you can't do that because they don't have any Indian servers, right? They only have European and American servers. You don't get that customization. If you want to increase your bandwidth like dramatically, you can't do that exactly in Heroku as much as you can do it in AWS. Okay. If you have to, like, Heroku only provides hosting, they don't provide any kind of database, right? AWS have their own databases as well, and they can provide multiple services. Heroku doesn't do that, right? So it's a platform as a service. And why do we use platform as a service? Because, for example, people like me, right, developers like you who are watching, and anyone per se, comes up with so many ideas on daily basis. Okay, how do we put that into reality? How do we put that into test? By first making a MVP or making a small application out of it, right? So, for example, when we first developed the Coffee House website, we didn't go to infrastructure as a service, right? We went to Heroku first. We deployed a small, I developed a small Node.js project, okay, and connected with a MongoDB database, and then I tested it on Heroku first. Is it working properly? Is it not? I tested everything, and then I deployed it on AWS, right? For testing purposes, platform as a service is good. Okay. Another thing is, if you know for sure that your website is not going to scale right now, platform as a service is good because it can handle that much request on a free tier, on a free services as well, right? Most of the time, platform as a service always has a free tier, which means you can use a limited amount of their service for free. Okay, maybe for a limited amount of time, as per I know, but you get less customization. I tell you, right? Customization. When it comes to pay, it is much cheaper. But if you are really a regular payer, if you are using the premium service, it costs a bit higher than infrastructure, right? Because here they are giving you, you don't have to take care about deploying an instance or managing the softwares of the instance or the softwares on it, right? For example, if you bought a Windows. Uh, Platform as a service basically means that you don't have to access that Windows. You don't even have to access the software. You're already given the software. You can run your code inside that software. That is basically it. Okay. Basically a paint. You can just draw. Cannot do anything else apart from using that paint software. That is it. Okay. Very restrictive, but very efficient if you know what you want exactly. Less abstraction, as I told you, right? You don't have abstraction means basically in this context hindrance towards developing something, right? So you don't have any hindrance. You don't have to know about networking per se, or you don't have to know about setting up the servers per se. You just have to know like Node.js and your stuff, and then you just have to deploy it, and that is it. Very, very simple. Then comes software as a service. Okay, this is basically all your Google softwares like Google Word, Google Docs, sorry, Google Docs, Calendar. Okay, the streaming service that we are using. Okay, all of them are like software as a service, right? You don't need to know the technology. You don't need to know any underlying technology or setup. What you know is you have to do this business task, and you are able to do it using a software provided by some company as a service to you, right? Now, this is very much costlier, of course, right? because there are like multiple companies handling stuff for you. Okay, for example, again, I am like a pharmaceutical company. If I choose a SaaS product, a software as a company, a software as a service product, what will I get? Okay, first of all, I have to like outsource all of my software requirements to one consultant company, right? Okay, so I will hire that company. What that company will do is mostly, in most cases, they will again outsource all their computational requirements to infrastructure as a service company. Okay, and what these companies will do is they will provide all the setup and everything to this consultancy company. This consultancy company will develop all the software that I need and send it to me. Okay, hence there are two layers of things happening, and that is the reason why the software as a service is way more costlier than previously. Okay, again recapping the whole thing. So computational services, here you don't have to go through the headache of buying and maintaining it. Then comes on premise. This was the like the very first way of maintaining all your technology, that you own your own computer, you maintain your own network, and you save on a longer run. Okay, but then people be like, how, who are not from a tech background, companies who are not from the tech background, they were like, I have to buy my own networks, I have to hire people and maintain and make them more what we say capable of handling the services, and then developing my own software on top of it is too much of a task. Why not just lease out computers? Then came platform as a services, wherein you require less people because less abstraction. You pay a bit more, but you get also simplification way better than infrastructure as a services. Then comes software as a service. You don't have to know the technology or underlying technology at all. You just have to use the software or what you need, and you get what you want. Okay, whatever your business needs, that is what the software will give you, and that is it. Okay, but again, it has its own limitation because you cannot uh, modify customize it, or it is not as flexible as all the previous two services, right? So if I have to sum it up, I have this like really good image that I just downloaded, and just a sec, guys. See, so if if you want to remember it, that's just pizza as a service. Okay, so on premise is like you making your own pizza. You have your own oven. You have your own toppings, sauce, cheese, and everything. You make it on your make it in your home, in the comfort of your home. But you will have all the infrastructures at your home. Okay, you should have if you want to make a pizza at home. Then comes infrastructure as a service, wherein you bring pizza dough, you bring tomato sauce, topping, cheese from your stores, some nearby stores, grocery stores. But you make your own pizza. You have your own oven, fire, dining table, and everything. Okay, and you make your own pizza again. It's take and bake. Then comes platform as a service, wherein you just call an order, right? You just Swiggy or Zomato it, and they will give you, and you eat it at your home. Then comes software as a service, wherein you don't have to do anything. If you want a pizza, go to a place where you get a pizza, eat it, and come home. You will not handle even a single piece. You will just have what you want. Okay, very simple. And this gives you a wholesome idea of what like cloud computing is and other types of the services inside cloud computing. Okay, but I have taken a course have taken a course in cloud computing in college, and according to that, throughout the semester, I had different types of cloud computing. Okay, but if I have to like sum it up, if I have to like sum it up in like 2 3 lines, you should not care about those definitions because it's again differentiating or bifurcating cloud computing. Okay, and that does not matter. Okay, so these are the three major things that you will be dealing with as a developer on a practical level. But there are hybrid clouds, there are private clouds, there are public clouds. As the name suggests, public clouds are like which are openly available, like YouTube, right? YouTube is openly available. Private clouds are something, maybe if you're in a company or if you're in a college, it's only available to you. Okay, nobody else. If you are in the same network, right? Hybrid is a mix of both of them. Okay, big companies do that, like Facebook and Google. Admin side, you won't have an access to. This is the very simple explanation of thing. Okay, so now we'll deep dive into. Uh, okay, now we'll deep dive into this very basic deploying of services. Okay. So what we'll do is I will just give you a very basic usage of how can you deploy something on Heroku and test it. Okay, how do you can make your own API and test it, and how the deployment works and how Heroku is. If you are like this Hack the Mountains, if you are participating in Hack the Mountains or any hackathon per se, okay, this is the best start to develop your backend and deploy it. Cool. So before like I had this project ready. Okay. But I'll just go through that project. It's very simple. If you have to deploy this project, if you want to make this project, it's just like, very few commands away. If you want, I will just do that. I will just make a new folder. So I'll just rename the folder. Hmm, just name it cloud. Okay. And then I'll open that cloud folder in my any of your text editors, if you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a very simple API. Okay. What is an API? I won't cover it for now, but it's just like a URL, okay, wherein you will pass two numbers and it will give you addition, subtraction, multiplication, division of the numbers quickly. Okay. And I will deploy this on Heroku and you can use that back to you and you can use that link and you can also try it out on your own. Okay. So let's do that. So cloud. And if you have to develop a Node.js application, it's very simple. You need to install npm. I won't like show you right now, but you can Google it out. It's very simple, like two steps away. Once you have installed npm, just do this npm init inside the folder cloud, and just press enter, 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 enter. Cool. Now you will have this package or package.json. Okay. I will add one more file, index.js. This is like the file inside which all the magic will happen. Okay. Now, I would require this library called Express. Express is like a routing library. So, how to install a library? npm install Express. And then I will just copy paste this. And I will just import Express and make an app out of it, just like a variable. Very simple. If you're not if it is not making sense, just like it's okay. Just make sure that you know the concept. That is, we are just developing a URL in which if you pass two numbers, it will just calculate something and give it back to you. Okay. So I'm just basically what I do is assume it like a software, and I want to deploy it on a like over internet and where people can use it. Right? How should I do it? And why should I use that service? Right? Now this is a very small software. Okay. Should I use AWS for it? No, right? I would use software as a service. Cannot be used because there is no such software which can actually like give me all these four results in one go, right? Like very vague thing, but won't give it, right? So what I will do is I will just choose platform as a service. Okay, so I will just go to heroku.com. Okay, I'll just sign it off and logging with my own password, with my own ID. Okay, so this is my own ID, and I'm logging in, and then I will create a project, a new project. Okay, and I will be connecting it with the Node server. Okay, with the Node application that we developed. Okay, so let's just name it calculate. As I told you, they don't have any servers in United States or Europe. Sorry, in India or in Southeast Asia and in Africa maybe, but they only have in United States and Europe. I'll just choose in United States. Just calculate num. Cool. Create app. Now, if I want to deploy my project over to Heroku, how will I do that? First thing I need to do is Heroku login. Okay. So since I was logged in with a different account, you don't have to do this. So, log out. Okay. You just have to follow these steps that are given in here. Okay. First, you need to log in into Heroku. Simple. It will just open up a browser, authenticate, whatever you need will be done. So it is done. You're logged in. Then comes you're already into the project, so you can do this. You have to initialize a Git. Done. Then you have to connect your Heroku to this project. Done. Then you need to add all your changes. Just forgot the name of the file. Get ignored. Anyways, we don't have that much of. Okay, cool. We'll just follow the same guidelines they have given. Git add, and then we'll make a commit, and then we'll push our project on Heroku. Okay. So it is like pushing everything, building everything, making like a whole server, right? So our URL will look like whatever the URL that Heroku will give you, slash calculate, slash whatever the number you want, slash the second number. Like numbers, it's slash op separated, okay? Very simple. So how will you find the URL? Just go to the setting. There you will have this thing, domain. And now what you have to do is this slash calculate slash let's say I have the first number as 5 and second number as 10. So then something went wrong. Okay, calculate. Just a sec, guys. I guess my code is wrong anyways. I tested it. Cool. Okay, not an issue. Okay, not an issue. What I'll do is I will just run it on my local server for now, and then it's okay. We'll get the gist of it, right? So if you want to start a node server, just do npm and whatever the name of the file, you have all your code starting from as this. Oh, I got why it is not happening. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Just a sec. I will stop sharing. Give me a minute. So I just forgot to write like a starting command on Heroku. Uh, just quickly add it and then share the screen. So I have it over here. I'm just sharing the screen again. Yeah, sure. I will zoom the screen. Uh, Not able to zoom it. Fonts, I guess I can increase. Yeah. So what I've missed is this one command, which is very important, which says that index file is the one that you should point to and start it. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly push this new changes. So git add everything, git commit, minor fix, and then we can follow this command. So git push. Name of the project. Okay. Oh, it is here. Oh shit. Yeah, so this was a different project. Yeah, I have to paste it over here. A small blunder. I'm really sorry, guys. Anyways, yes, we are back on track. So after doing this, I just have to save the changes, git add, uh, just misspelled. Anyways, hmm. So we are pushing it to the Heroku is building this new thing, and then I guess then this will work. A very small thing, I guess. If you are a Node.js developer, you would know. Very basic, silly mistake I did. Anyways, now if I just like reload this, yep, it works. It says so. I passed. If you can also do this, guys. I will just like paste it. Sorry. Yeah. So you can paste like two numbers, calculate slash first number slash second number, and it will return you the addition of the number, subtraction of the number, division of a number, and the multiplication of the two numbers. Okay. So like you can deploy this. This gives you the like a basic example. You can like develop your own backend, develop your own thing. Okay. Take like an input from here or put the input and then build your own like infrastructure in this way and put it on Heroku, and Heroku will handle it for you. Okay. But I told you like Heroku has so many restrictions, right? It's good for an inter developer like us, but when it comes to like developing very scalable projects, very tight schedule projects, not tight schedule project, but very scalable project, very maintainable project, and which can have a more control and flexibility, you cannot use Heroku. There comes services like Lambda. I will tell you what is a Lambda. Before that, I just wrote a simple function. Actually, I like saw it from internet, but it will again give you a gist of what Lambda function is. Okay, so Lambda function is just like Heroku. Okay, wherein you will given like again very limited amount of you just have to you just have to send your code and they will handle it altogether. Okay, they will handle the deployment and scalability and everything, and it is way more customizable than Heroku because here you get to choose so many regions. Okay, you have Mumbai as well, so that you can keep your data inside the country. You have so many other options. If you're a game developer, you know that putting a server in the same continent is so important because you need to have this ping list. Okay, and so many things, right? So let's just create a basic function of the same thing that we did. So calculator, I will just name the function calculator. It will be a Node.js lambda. So Lambda is like serverless thing. You don't require, so it is not exactly serverless, but what happens is that, for example, your friend told you to just do like send an email for him to someone else, right? Using his ID. What he will do is he'll just log in into his email, write an email about it, and send it to someone else, right? You just like for that task, only for that task, he doesn't have to buy the whole computer or maybe just lease out a server and then deploy everything and then do it. Rather, he could have just like have your like laptop for a while, logged in, and then send the email, and that is it. That is exactly what like, cloud functions are. Okay, you are just have to want to execute that very small amount of code and just open a very one API. That is it. Okay, that is the reason why we use Lambda functions. So just paste your code over here. Okay, and this code is basically you are like taking two numbers. Okay, and you're summing it up and product and then like sorry, having a division of it and then dividing it and then sending that number back to the user, right? So I'll just deploy this, and here only you will have this test. Okay, so if you want to test it, the first number, let's say the value of the first number, will put it as 10 maybe, and the number two, let's put it as 5. Cool. And we'll just name this test as test event. Okay, and then I will create it. This is like a test that you created. Now, if you want to test this test event that you created, just select your test event and do test. Okay. So here you will see your function is running well. Okay. So this is like a very complicated thing. I mean, this is very basic thing that I showed you, but AWS is very, very complicated. Okay. Coming back to the life. Yeah. So that was again very AWS is really complicated. Okay, as you see, Heroku is very straightforward. What I have to do is I deployed my own server altogether. Okay, or own instance altogether without much of a hassle with some Git commands. But Amazon is not like that. Okay, I can't do that with Amazon. Okay, I cannot deploy it in like such an easy manner. I have to select so many things while deploying a server in Amazon. I have to select even for a test. I have to create an event and then test it. Okay, that shows like even for a smallest of thing, you have to keep everything in mind and then do it, and that is the reason why you have a different position in tech companies for maintaining this cloud infrastructures. Okay, so there's a cloud computing engineer, let's say. It's like there are many positions that has come up. There is like a cloud and DevOps engineer who handles like what computational power, what computational requirements we have, how to manage them, and how to connect all of them, right? So that was the basic overview. Guys, if you have any question, you can just put it in the comment, okay, and I can solve it right away. Yeah, you can try the link that I gave. It's open.
Yeah, yes, sir, that was a great session. We had a hands-on experience with you.
Yeah, thank you. Uh, if anyone has
I'll
doubts, they
check
can
for
reach out.
questions. Yeah, there are no questions, sir.
Okay.
Participants, if you have any, you can post it in the chat box.
Okay. One more. There are like other services that I would like to tell you. So one is also called Vercel. Okay, which is like booming right now, and it is because uh, it's just like Heroku, but it's like good to go for developers like us. You can, if you are a front end developer, you should try Vercel because it's very compatible and very easy to use. Okay, and if you're a backend developer, you can also try Vercel, but Heroku is way more customization, has way more customization for you. Oh, Abhay, you can do that. So there are like triggers and lambdas that you can connect. If you're using their own DynamoDB, then there is like a updation trigger. If you're putting something into it, and then there will be a trigger for it. If you're editing something, there will be a trigger for it that you can connect. I was just giving an overview of AWS control. I was not diving into it. Just like giving you how complicated it can be. Uh, One more thing, like as Abhay said that Lambda has this DB and triggers things as we like talked about right away. But Heroku doesn't have this. So if you want to have your own database with Heroku, you cannot because Heroku doesn't provide any, right? There you have to use MongoDB, SQLite, or any other kind of database because Heroku is just for running your code, okay? But it acts like a service, right? So it has limitations. Cloud computing has evolved so much that you can only get what you need, not more than that, not less than that.
Yeah, thank you, sir, for the valuable information and thanks for sharing your valuable time with us here. And I would also like to thank all the participants for being here and being a part of this success. So I request all the participants to fill the feedback form to get the certificates and hope to see you all at the hackathon on 10th and 11th. For more information, check our website hackthemountain.tech. So once again, thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, do. Okay, okay. I'm sorry. I is just saying that guys do register at Hack the Mountain and make sure you get the most of the hackathon. Bye. See you.
Yeah, bye, guys.